My name is Dr. Rebecca Ponder, and I'd like to add to the comments made by Dr. Wagner. Let's see. Okay. We are accustomed to the availability of our natural resources. We think of them as free, and we take them for granted. But a decade ago, the World Resources Institute estimated an annual global price tag of $33 trillion for ecosystem services. These services would be impossible without healthy ecosystems, and they are all threatened by the current climate crisis. Along with direct ecosystem services, loss of species and decreased plant and wildlife populations equate to financial loss because of decreased outdoor recreation, hunting, fishing, and tourism income. Flooding, wildfire, and drought are not just natural disasters. They represent enormous financial losses as well. Man does not live in a void. Our own future is threatened in direct proportion to the threat to the other species with whom we share this ecosystems. One of the most startling examples is the severe toll the climate crisis is taking on forests. 8 of the last 10 summers have been extreme wildfire seasons in Siberia. In Canada, the annual acreage of forest burned is double that of the 1970s. In the western U.S., the wildfire season in forests is 79 days longer than it was just 25 years ago. As a result of warmer temperatures, pine beetle infestations have devastated so far 24.8 million acres of forest in the interior western United States and are currently on pace to destroy an additional 80% of the huge forests of British Columbia within the next 5 years. Northern latitude forests on other continents are being similarly affected. When large areas of forest are deforested, not only do they affect the global climate, but they have been shown to increase local temperatures, decrease local precipitation, thereby directly exacerbating local climate issues. Future climate change is likely to contribute to ever drier conditions and even greater frequency and intensity of wildfires, more insect outbreaks, reduced forest health, and weaker trees in these areas. Deforestation contributes to at least 20% of the greenhouse gas effect. A few more comments about the impact of the climate crisis on agriculture. Currently, just 3 crops, corn, rice, and wheat, provide about 60% of the total food for human consumption. The viability of these crops depends on the maintenance of high genetic diversity found in their counterparts' natural species, which permits the development of specialized strains resistant to emerging and evolving diseases and pests. In the long term, widespread climate-caused species extinction threatens food security because it restricts the development of new crops from what are now wild plants. Just as disease has caused the loss of chestnut, elm, and other trees in the American forests, disease and pesticide-resistant pests will also cause the loss of current species of corn, rice, wheat, and our ability to replace them will be curtailed. In 2009, the countries that provide 2/3 of the world's agricultural output, all the countries colored in various shades of red here on this map, are already experiencing consequences of the current climate crisis. Drought, in many cases unprecedented drought, is already creating millions of climate refugees because of ruined crops, dead livestock, hopelessness, and emaciated and dying children. From reports published by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, agricultural experts now warn that global agriculture, already predicted to be stressed by climate change in coming decades, could go into steep decline in some regions. Between now and mid-century, they expect agricultural declines in the subtropics, where even a modest 1.5 to 3 degrees rises are expected to evaporate rainfall and push staple crops over their survival thresholds. Developing countries may lose 334 million acres of prime farmland within the next 50 years. After mid-century, continuing temperature rises estimated at 9 degrees Fahrenheit or more are expected to start adversely affecting northern crops as well, tipping the whole world into a danger zone. Productive agriculture depends on reasonably predictable weather patterns. Extreme weather events predicted as part of this climate crisis include heat waves and sudden big storms, which could easily wipe out crops across these areas on vast scales if they occur for even a few days during the critical germination or flowering times. Higher temperatures may also prompt outbreaks of weeds and pests and affect plant and animal physiology. For example, hotter climates and hotter temperatures will limit the ability of modern-day dairy cow breeds to convert feed into milk and thereby lead to declines in livestock fertility and longevity. As temperatures rise in northerly latitudes, the ability of crop pests to survive winters is expected to improve, enabling them to attack spring crops during the very vulnerable time of spring germination. They were previously kept at bay by these cold weather. Worldwide food commodity crisis will increasingly affect the availability and prices of those commodities in Utah, even if all of those weather events occur only in other countries.